Tonight on CTV News at 6. It's been a journey and a half.
We're going to do a complete refinish. We're going to modernize our arena.
Elliot Lake City Council approves more money to fix the local arena. One step closer.
It's inspiring. Certainly the way that was designed was certainly in consultation with a lot of different groups.
We get an architectural rendering of what the new Sudbury Event Center will look like. And there could be disruptions. Staff at Timmins Transit could be on strike this Saturday.
CTV News at 6 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. So glad you're with us on this Tuesday. Police in Timmins have a 54-year-old man in custody after a shooting in the north end of the city. Police say they responded to a report of shots heard in the area of Spruce Street North at around 4 p.m. last Thursday. Police say a suspect opened the door to a residence and discharged a firearm into a garage. A suspect was located later that day with a loaded Glock handgun concealed in a bag. This led officers to seize a variety of drugs such as cocaine, opioids, crystal methamphetamine, and Percocet tablets with a street value of more than $162,000.
He is known to police, and that's the reason one of our officers who drove by him was able to identify him and positively locate him while we were searching for him, yes. When officers showed up, the first officer who identified him stopped, began speaking, engaged in communications. Other officers showed up immediately shortly thereafter, and at that point he was placed under arrest, and yes, the firearm and some drugs were located on his person at that time.
And more than $14,000 in Canadian currency was also confiscated. The accused is facing a number of drug and weapon-related charges. A tractor-trailer rollover late yesterday afternoon on Highway 69 near Britt shut down the road for about 3 hours. Cargo from the transport was strewn across the highway, shutting down the road in both directions between Station Lane and Magnetawan River. Police have not said if there were any injuries. Following a weekend crash that injured a panhandler at a North Bay Highway intersection, provincial police say they are once again cracking down on roadside soliciting. OPP say a pedestrian suffered non-life-threatening injury Saturday after they were hit by a pickup truck. The investigation revealed the person entered a lane of traffic. The incident highlights an ongoing public safety concern related to roadside panhandling. Officers plan to increase education through safe street cards and enforcement when required. Police recommend drivers make donations to local organizations that work with the most vulnerable instead of donating to panhandlers at busy intersections.
There will be an increased presence, and we're also looking at other options like increased signage. We're going to look with the Ministry of Transportation Ontario, hopefully get some signs up there to increase that message that we want people to be generous, but we don't want it to be through roadside solicitation.
And provincial police say roadside solicitation is illegal and comes with a fine and an arrest. Sudbury's Member of Parliament Vivian Lapointe introduced a new private members bill yesterday. CTV's Madison Merrier has more.
Lapointe introduced her first private members bill in the House of Commons, proposing amendments to the criminal code.
I'm saying criminals should be made to pay and to and make restitutions to those communities.
The bill proposes that the code should be expanded to enforce restitution by those convicted of drug and human trafficking charges. It argues that the restitution should be made to community organizations that Lapointe says provide critical frontline services.
What I want to do is amend the criminal code to allow a judge to provide for restitution to communities.
Restitution has been a concept in Canada since 2015 with the Canadian Victims' Bill of Rights. However, Lapointe feels the language isn't clear enough.
It is important that restitution be provided to victims and their families. And they do have judges can provide restitution to communities, but they often don't because communities are not well defined.
A local organization also shared their excitement about their thoughts on the future if this bill succeeds.
I think this is a really important step, not just in acknowledging the work that the frontline agencies are doing, but also some of the really big systemic gaps that are being filled by frontline workers at this time.
We've all seen the devastating impacts that these crimes have had. These impacts are far-reaching for victims, their families, and also communities, specifically the community agencies that are providing support services, often life-saving services, to the victims.
Lapointe says that there is still a lengthy process to determine when and if this bill will change the criminal code. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
There is a heavy police presence right now in Chiging First Nation on Manitoulin Island. OPP say they are investigating as part of a missing persons case and ask the public to avoid the Riverside Drive and Cross Hill Road area and the Bidwell Bog area over the next 2 days. For more on this story, you can visit our website, CTVNewsNorthernOntario.ca. Now let's take a look at the weather conditions. Another wet one out there. With more, here's CTV's Rick Wyman.
Well, wet in some areas, about to be wet in others later on this evening and overnight, Tony. Our systems map right now, we've got that rain hovering over certain sectors. And of course, in Chapleau for this evening, there's a rain advisory, 15 to 25 millimeters, issued in the last half hour by Environment Canada. We'll take a look at the current temperatures. Predominantly cloudy across most of the northeast, a big difference in temperature from last night. Of course, warmer with the humidex and a lot more, so we'll get into that. And their 7-day forecast coming up a little bit later on. Tony, back to you.
Thanks, Rick. Leave or face arrest still to come on CTV News at 6. We head to BC where a standoff continues between a Canadian agency and the owners of some ostriches. But first, we're off to South River on this live webcam shot of some chickens. And this is courtesy of Northern Creations. It's 21 degrees in South River. We are back right after this commercial break.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
The city of Greater Sudbury is another step closer to getting its new event center built downtown. Architectural renderings were released during a media event today. CTV's Angela Gemmell reports.
With a backdrop of the current municipal arena, Sudbury's mayor revealed what the new events center will look like.
It's inspiring. Certainly the way that was designed was certainly in consultation with a lot of different groups, certainly with people from the area of Anishinaabe peoples.
The schematics were created by BBB Architects from Toronto, which specializes in designing these types of buildings, including event centers used by other OHL teams. The lead architect says they took input from focus groups to help design the building, which will use materials that reflect natural surroundings and the local history of industry. The building integrates curves inspired by Indigenous influences.
The way that the glass concourse wraps around on Brady Street and Minto, it's kind of a two-sided design because people are coming from different locations in your downtown, depending on where they park or whether they might go for dinner in the little restaurant district.
I think it's a really modern building that basically has all of the parameters to host major events because that's what it's all about. It's about economic development, also community coming together. That's why we're certainly we're very happy with the design.
Maximum capacity for a concert would be 7,200, but for a sporting event, seating will be closer to 6,000. The $200 million project has already started generating buzz around the downtown.
We're seeing developers willing to invest in the downtown currently, and a lot of it's because they're seeing the city put their money where their mouth is and showing that belief in the success of downtown. And those are dividends that'll pay for the entire city. The
city chose PCL Construction as the construction manager for the new event center. Site preparation will begin next month, with major construction set to start in early 2026. The hope is it will be open by 2028. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Sudbury.
An update now on the Elliot Lake Arena. Last night, City Council approved an $11.6 million budget. It also entered into a design agreement with Perry & Perry Architects for the renewal of the Rogers Arena. CTV's Lindsay Alick has details.
From the trusses to the beams, to sealing the roof, and most recently fixing the foundation. The arena in Elliot Lake has been shut down since 2023. Perry & Perry Architects carried out a life safety audit of the arena this summer. In response, the architects went beyond their original task and prepared a representative Class D budget of $11.6 million.
We're going to do a complete refinish. We're going to modernize our arena. It is 60 years old, and it is the structure, all that has been fixed for a minimum of 50 to probably 75 years. So we've decided to upgrade it because technically speaking, accessibility wise, it's not up to code anymore. It's too old. So we got to redo the bathrooms, make the halls bigger. Our change rooms are dated. Everything's dated.
Council requested an alternative budget be prepared, showing the cost of operating the facility at the most basic level, and that brought the budget down to $9 million.
We're all in on getting this arena. It's been a long haul. It's pretty much happened as soon as we got sworn in, and we do have a city to run, and we have other issues, and but we haven't lost our focus on this.
The arena is the home of the Elliot Lake Vikings, and the president says he was impressed with the presentation to council by Perry & Perry, saying it's nice to see an end in sight for the Rogers Arena renovation. He says the future of the Vikings in EL is still unclear moving forward, but I'm definitely happy to see things finally moving in the right direction. Proceeding with this option ensures a safe, code-compliant facility that supports Council's goal of reopening for the 2026-2027 season and meets the community's expectation of a renewed arena. Flintoff says the hope is to have the building turnkey by next September, but they don't want to overpromise. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
Sioux City Council is supporting several long-term energy projects that will provide alternative energy for parts of the city. Representatives with PUC Services presented to City Council yesterday a few proposed solar farms. A smaller one could be constructed in the Lees Bay and Carpin Beach neighborhoods, and a larger one near the Sioux Airport. The combined projects would produce 250 megawatts of electricity. Some residents at the meeting were concerned about the trees and forests that could be removed for the projects, but PUC Services says there would be direct benefits for the city and residents.
There's roughly about $1 million a year that would come back to the city from that equity return. There's about $500,000 in estimated property tax new revenue that would come back, so pretty significant benefit between the two. And then there's the ownership equity at the end.
PUC will now submit its proposals to Ontario's independent electricity system operator, which would award contracts next April. If successful, construction on the solar farms would be completed by late 2028. The city also approved support for a wind farm north of the city proposed by Batchewana First Nation. The ostrich farmer at the center of a controversy in British Columbia has just been arrested. RCMP just moved in and took the farm owner into custody. The owner had been told by the Canadian Food Inspection Agency to leave the farm today or face arrest. The farmers were arrested for refusing to leave the animals and hand over the property to the CFIA. The owners have been fighting a cull order, which was prompted by an avian flu outbreak that killed 69 ostriches. RCMP and officials with the Canadian Food Inspection Agency arrived at the farm yesterday and served a warrant. There continues to be heavy RCMP and CFIA presence at the farm. The CFIA says the ostriches could still spread a unique and more lethal strain of the avian flu. The farm insists the birds are healthy and their antibodies should be studied. Supporters of the farm's owners say it's not right to kill the birds without testing them to see if they still carry the virus. Canada's provocacy watchdogs say the popular social platform TikTok has agreed to do more to keep underage children off its site. This after an investigation found the social media giant was not doing enough. Listen to this.
Our investigation found that the measures that TikTok had in place to keep children off the popular video sharing platform and to prevent the collection and use of their sensitive personal information for profiling and content targeting purposes were inadequate.
Investigators looked into whether TikTok complies with Canadian privacy laws. The watchdog also investigated whether the company is meeting transparency obligations and examined how the app's privacy practices apply to children and youths. The federal government ordered the dissolution of TikTok's Canadian business last year following a national security review by ByteDance, the Chinese company behind the social media platform. But it is still operational in Canada, and it's still not clear what TikTok's future in Canada will be. Back now for a check on your current conditions. Once again, here's Rick.
Big difference from last night, Tony. We'll talk about the temperatures and a lot more, and especially we've got the 7-day forecast coming up a little bit later on. Forecast radar, well, the forecast was calling for the risk of thunderstorms and showers throughout the day in Greater Sudbury. Some sections did get it, while others didn't. As you were liable to see outside, depending on where you live, some sun, some cloud, maybe even the chance of rain. Let's take a look at what we've got going on this hour with our current temperatures. Moosoody, far cry from last night, 16, mainly cloudy. Cochrane, some sun and cloud. Timmins, mostly cloudy. Kapuskasing, cloudy skies this hour as well. Meanwhile, Chapleau, 15, but there's also a rainfall warning, 15 to 25 millimeters in the forecast for this evening. Wawa, mainly cloudy. Sault Ste. Marie, mainly cloudy as well at 20. Parry Sound, 24, some sun, some cloud. And moving on up to North Bay, 20 cloudy skies. Temiskaming Shores, 22 with the cloud. And of course, Kirkland Lake, some sun, some cloud, and 21. How about Greater Sudbury Nickel Belt? Mostly cloudy with the odd sunny break depending on your locale in Sudbury. 25 Espanola, 21 Elliot Lake with the cloud cover, and of course mainly cloudy Gore Bay, 20. But the island is big. I'm sure there's an odd sunny break there or two. 7-day forecast coming up just minutes away. Tony?
Thanks a lot for that, Rick. He spoke almost 4 times the normal length allotted. Next on CTV News at 6. President Trump talks Russia and immigration at the United Nations. And a critical mineral becoming more critical in Canada's nation-building projects. U.S. President Donald Trump at the United Nations today at the annual General Assembly. Trump giving a lengthy speech around an hour long covering a range of issues. Here are a few takeaways. Trump criticized the United Nations and lectured other countries, saying he had ended conflicts around the world while the UN had done nothing. Trump also targeted former President Joe Biden and his other political opponents, as well as attacking the green energy and environmental movement away from oil and gas. The president also championed his own crackdown on immigration and specifically took aim at U.S. allies, including Canada, the U.K., France, and Australia, for recognizing the state of Palestine, a move he says sends the wrong message to Hamas.
Many years ago, this would be a reward for these horrible atrocities, including October 7th, even while they refused to release the hostages or accept a ceasefire. Instead of giving to Hamas and giving so much, because they've taken so much, this could have been solved so long ago. But instead of giving in to Hamas's ransom demands, those who want peace should be united with one message: release the hostages now. Just release the hostages now. Thank you.
Trump's speech went way beyond the allotted time. He also told the General Assembly that Iran can never be allowed to possess nuclear weapons. He says his position is very simple. The world #1 sponsor of terror cannot be allowed to possess the most dangerous weapons. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Mark Carney and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky co-hosted a meeting on Ukrainian children kidnapped by Russia during its illegal invasion.
Putin has caused this terrible tragedy that has claimed in the war lives of millions. He menaces the skies of Ukraine, threatens the cities, destroys the field. Putin has stolen Ukrainian children.
1,625 children have already been returned to Ukraine. Each return is a success, a child saved, but also a challenge because the child must be reintegrated and protected from the trauma they went through.
Carney has recently called for Canada and other allies to maintain maximum pressure on Moscow in the face of threats from Russia's president to target foreign troops deployed in Ukraine. Carney has told Ukraine's allies that Canada is willing to deploy direct and scalable military assistance in a post-ceasefire Ukraine. It's time for Canada to think big. That was the message from the Carney government earlier this month, with a splashy announcement about 5 nation-building projects. 2 of those projects are linked to copper production, a critical mineral becoming even more valuable. CTV's Alison Bamford takes a look at its significance.
The shiny material is actually chalcopyrite.
Shiny and gold, but it's actually copper, and this ore is becoming more valuable.
If the plan going forward is to electrify everything, then you're going to need more copper.
Copper conducts electricity. You can find it in any home or building, technology like phones, computers, and vehicles. It's especially critical for electric cars, AI data centers, and a greener future.
The demand for copper is not going to go down.
But Canadian copper production has, dropping nearly 25% between 2014 and 2023. That's where Saskatchewan's McIlvenna Bay project comes into play. The copper and zinc mine is expected to begin operation next year. It's one of 5 nation-building projects selected by the federal government in hopes of bolstering the country's supply.
We're really looking at developing a mining district here. We know there's more copper in the ground.
Canada has less than 1% of the global copper reserves. Chile has the highest percentage. BC and Ontario account for most of our country's production. Geologists say more copper is out there, but exploration costs money, and it doesn't come with a guarantee.
We've gone a long time without a new copper zinc mine coming into production in Canada, let alone Saskatchewan. So I think it's going to really help focus even more investment.
Along with Saskatchewan's mining project, an expansion to the Red Chris mine in northwest BC also made Ottawa's list. That project is expected to increase Canada's annual copper production by more than 15%. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
And there's more news still ahead, but first, here's your full weather forecast with Rick.
Okay, Tony, so you missed this last night, but you'll get a chance to enjoy the 7-day forecast and what we are going to get and what we're not going to get. And that would be sunshine for at least a couple of days. Our forecast radar right now, that system playing its way over the course of the northeast area. And again, risk of thunderstorms, as you will see, and precipitation for a couple of days. Then we'll get some sunshine. Then we'll get more rain in some cases, then some sunshine. But again, the temperatures will be okay, 19, 20, 21 degrees. Let's take a look now at what we can expect at least overnight. Chance of showers, Greater Sudbury. Again, the risk of a thunderstorm throughout the northeast. Ditto in Sault Ste. Marie, Timmins as well. Chance of showers only 30%, 60% in Temiskaming Shores, North Bay 60% as well. Meanwhile, in Moosehead, cloudy skies. Okay, Kapuskasing-Hearst, chance of showers. Wawa, more of the same. Gore Bay, chance of showers, and Parry Sound, chance of showers 60%. Don't forget Chapleau, 15 to 25 millimeters of rain in the forecast for tonight. Here we go. Sudbury Nickel Belt, risk of a thunderstorm tomorrow, chance of showers Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Then we have some sunshine, 20 both days, Sunday and Monday, but you've got to wait a few days before you see that. Sault Ste. Marie Algoma, risk of a thunderstorm for tomorrow at 22. Then you've got the chance of showers Thursday, Friday, and again Saturday, your chance of showers at 60%. Sunday, Monday look great, 20 and 21 with the sunshine a few degrees above normal. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, chance of showers for 2 days. Talk about a sandwich here. We like to call it the weather sandwich. Sunshine on Friday at 17, then rain in between the sunshine. Chance of showers 60%. Then we've got some sunshine again Sunday, Monday, 19 degrees both days, about 5 degrees above normal. Temiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, chance of showers for a couple of days at 60 and 40%. Then we go Friday again with sun and cloud at 18. Then we go back to the showers at 60%. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, how about that? Nice hat trick there. 19 and 21, loads of sunshine. Getting the thumbs up for that one. North Bay, West Nipissing. Risk of a thunderstorm tomorrow at 60%. More of the same on Thursday. 22, 21, your daytime highs. Sun and cloud Friday at 20. Chance of showers on Saturday at 21. 20 Sunday and Monday. You've got sunshine. So again, you're going to go a couple of days with rain in some cases. You'll get a day of sunshine, or at least some cloud and some sun, then back to the rain, then back to the sun. So I guess it's kind of all over the map according to Environment Canada. And again, 20 degrees, 4 degrees higher than normal for this time of the year. Let's have a look at our pick of the day. Courtesy of my good friend Carter Brown, who is an avid Blue Jays fan. So we're all watching the Jays this week. They've got to win. They've got to win the American League East. So Carter sends in a picture of a Blue Jay. Good shot. That was taken in Minnow Lake, Carter. Let's go Jays. We'll see what happens. Hey, stick around. I've got more on travel plans coming up and what you need to protect yourself with tonight's edition of Ask an Expert. It's time now for Ask an Expert. CAA's Rachel Lalonde is back tonight with more on travel preparation for the fall and winter. Rachel, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again.
There's a lot to think about when planning a trip, from booking tickets to getting insurance. What are the pre-travel items people seem to always forget about?
I think the biggest thing is check your ID. Make sure it's valid. Your passport. Many countries require the passport to be valid for at least 6 months after you return home. So make sure that it's valid. And your driver's license. If you're planning to drive when you're abroad, make sure your license is renewed. We don't get notices anymore, so you wouldn't believe how many people are driving with an expired license plate, driver's license. If you're going out of the country, register as a Canadian traveling abroad. That way you'll be kept in the loop in case there's something unexpected that happens, like a natural disaster or civil unrest. The government can certainly notify you. Don't forget and don't wait to get travel insurance. Trip cancellation and interruption insurance should be purchased as soon as you put that money down on your trip.
Good points to remember. I once forgot my passport trying to get into the States to see a Buffalo Bills game, so needless to say, I didn't get to see the game. Lost luggage is always a major concern for travelers. So what can travelers do to protect their belongings?
You know what? Pack smarter, pack smaller. You don't need to bring everything with you. If it's possible, use carry-on only. Look into purchasing a tracker as well for your bag. Those air tags, they're a saving grace for those who have luggage that's misplaced. You know it's in the airport, but you can let the carrier know where it is in the airport. Make sure that your travel insurance policy does cover baggage loss as well. Baggage insurance will cover the loss, the damage, or delay of your baggage, and personal items due to theft or transportation hazards as well. It also protects your ID, your equipment, and the essential necessities.
Okay, Rachel, planning can be challenging, and for some it's overwhelming. Is it the same for getting travel insurance?
It has been challenging, but that's why we recommend that travelers rely on the travel experts. As for travel insurance, it really is easy to get, whether you want to buy online, if you want to call, or if you want to visit a travel consultant in person. With CAA travel insurance, it is super easy to get it online. Just a few simple steps, you can get your quote and you can issue your policy. And CAA members can save up to 20% on their policy. And you can save your quote for up to 30 days while you're thinking about it, so you don't really have to commit right away.
You make this sound so easy. CAA's Rachel Lalonde. For more information on tonight's segment and past episodes of Ask an Expert, please visit our website at CTVNewsNorthernOntario.ca.
Thanks for that, Rick. Today, the federal government announced implementation plans for the gun buyback program. It's starting with a 6-week pilot project in Nova Scotia before opening up nationwide eligibility later this fall. CTV's Rachel Aiello has more.
Have you not failed at the task of getting this moving faster?
Absolutely not.
The public safety minister faced tough questions today as he unveiled the next phase of the federal firearm buyback.
The opening of the program to individual owners.
A program that he questioned the efficacy and enforceability of in audio leaked just yesterday.
I have absolute confidence in this program.
Then why did you say what you said? After a Cape Breton test run, owners nationwide of the more than 2,000 makes and models of firearms that the Liberals have outlawed will be contacted with instructions on how to participate. Those seeking compensation will either be able to turn their firearms over to local police after scheduling a time online, or keep them after proving they've been deactivated by a licensed gunsmith. The public safety minister said the context of his recorded comments were that he wanted the program implemented faster. But now, years after the buyback was first promised, firearms owners have until October 2026 to comply. And critics are calling for Gary Anandasangari's resignation.
On Monday, a minister says that his program won't work. On Tuesday, he says he's going ahead with the program.
The minister also faced calls today from gun control groups to expand the ban, saying unless additional semi-automatics are added, Canada's buyback program will be a waste of the more than $700 million already allocated. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Dialysis is a life-saving procedure for patients with severe kidney disease, but it can have some severe side effects. CTV's Pauline Chan has more on a new study to see if a new type of filter can help.
Frank Ansell bundles himself in a parka, heated blanket, and even gloves when he goes for dialysis 3 times a week.
I suffer from low blood pressure, high blood sugars, and I'm just exhausted.
His diabetes also complicates things, but Dr. Pavel Roshanov says many patients experience severe side effects.
Many people are itchy all over their body, so that's quite a bothersome symptom that patients tell us about. Many people have a difficult time sleeping. They have restless legs at night. Many people are breathless in the days between their dialysis treatments.
In dialysis, the patient's blood is circulated through a dialyzer, a type of filter that removes toxins from the blood and rebalances some of the blood's chemicals. But a new type of filter is now available that promises to do that even more efficiently and filter out significantly more toxins.
And so in doing so, we hope that patients will feel better and live longer and stay out of hospital admissions for longer.
The study, led by London Health Sciences, is now recruiting some 4,800 participants across Canada.
We're conducting a large randomized control trial currently in patients who undergo chronic maintenance hemodialysis.
The main problem is the cost of the newer filters, 3 times the cost of the current high-flux filters.
The cost to healthcare systems can pretty quickly build up, and dialyzer costs are routinely one of the top costs in a dialysis program.
So the researchers will be examining the range of benefits to patients. They hope to complete the study in 5 to 6 years. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
The North Bay Parry Sound District Health Unit is warning of blue-green algae blooms on Old Man's Lake near Magnetawan. Samples from the lake September 11th showed harmful algae blooms. Toxins from the blooms can stay in the water for up to 3 weeks after the blooms have faded. Those who get their water from Old Man's Lake are reminded to stay out of the lake and not to use the water for drinking, cooking, or bathing. The lock at the Sault Ste. Marie Canal was closed for testing one of its systems today. The Powerhouse project will be testing for leaks on the penstock pipe. This is a National Historic Site, so visitors will still be able to come and see the lock from the land, including the visitor center. Recreational boaters had to use the Soo locks on the Michigan side of the St. Mary's River. It was like a scene out of the Dukes of Hazzard or the video game Grand Theft Auto when a suspect jumped a drawbridge to get away from police. Seattle police were pursuing a suspected stolen vehicle when the driver turned onto the bridge, which was in the process of closing. The car broke through a safety barrier and jumped over the gap in the bridge, leaving the officers behind. The car was later found, but the suspect had fled the scene. The times and seasons are changing. Still ahead on CTV News at 6. We tee up the Cavalcade of Colors, a popular fall event in Greater Sudbury.
Clothing provided by Laura, Melanie Lynn.
We are into the first full day of autumn and the leaves are starting to fall. It's a great time to be outdoors and fall fairs are all the rage. To tell us more about an event this weekend, let's bring Carmen Portalaus of the Onaping Falls Lions Club. Carmen, so nice to see you again.
So nice to see you again, Tony.
So tell us more about the Cavalcade of Colors. How many years is it for the Lions Club?
It's our 38th year, and we're already getting ready for our 40th in 2 years from now. And it's really geared to the whole community. Every group in the community is invited to do something, either have a table at the crafters in the room, have an event with the kids, anything at all to promote themselves and to show the community what we have, because we're kind of a little bit far away from the city, so and we have quite a few seniors that don't leave Dowling right now, and so we try to give them everything that they possibly can, and Cavalcade for 38 years have been trying to do that, and it works. It really works. We bring out the community, all of them, so it's really good here.
It certainly is. So all of the events are taking place at the Dowling Leisure Centre, is that where it is?
Basically, yes, most of it. At High Falls, we have the Onaping Community Centre. They have a big barbecue there because a lot of people go see the colors, and I'm telling you, I was worried a couple of weeks ago, but the colors are coming out beautiful, beautiful. So it's a nice walk over there to see the falls and everything. So they're there with a barbecue, and at our den, at the Onaping Falls Lions Den, we have a beautiful lady, Courtney, that puts on a clothes exchange for the kids and for toys and stuff like that, and it's been 3 years now, and it's such a success because especially nowadays the cost of everything is so, and the kids grow up so fast that their clothes are almost new when they grow out of them, so it's a good service. We try to have everybody involved.
You mentioned about the clothing exchange, so you have that for families, and also Happy Halloween costume exchange too?
Yes, we have costume exchange. We started that a few years back, and it was a slow thing, but since we've had the kids clothes exchange, it's really took on, and I'm getting costumes right now. They're delivering so that we have a start, and then they come in, they bring their own, and they exchange, and there's no cost. And with the cost of living right now, and with everything, at least the kids will be able to enjoy and have a new costume and with no cost kind of thing. So
Carmen, always a pleasure to see you, and good luck with the event this weekend.
Oh, thank you so very much for having me.
That was Carmen Portalaus. She was our guest, and she represents the Onaping Falls Lions Club, and she joined us in studio. And to learn more about the weekend event, head to Facebook and search Cavalcade of Colors. Well, a big announcement for Ontario today.
In 2029, Canada is proud to host the International Mine Rescue Body Conference, bringing together leaders and practitioners from around the world. This milestone will coincide with Ontario Mine Rescue Centennial, celebrating a century of courage, expertise, and leadership in mine safety.
The announcement that the International Mine Rescue Body Conference is headed to Ontario was made today in Austria, where the IMBR conference is being held this year. The event is a key event for the global mine rescue community to network and exchange knowledge. Ontario Mine Rescue CEO Mike Parent and Chief Mine Rescue Officer Sean Rideout are excited to bring the world to Ontario to not only work and collaborate, but to celebrate the centennial anniversary of the OMR. Rideout was also named to the board of directors for the international body at this year's conference. Half of Canadian girls stop participating in sport by the age of 17. That's according to data from Canadian Women in Sport. Now, a new campaign is aiming to turn that number around. CTV's Emma Convey looks into why so many young women step away from sports and what's being done to keep them in the game.
Throughout her childhood, Ayushi Korean was quite active in sports. When she started university, the pressures of school and a part-time job forced her to take a step back.
I used to do like marathons and stuff like that, and like I was like in the basketball team, so we used to go for like inter-school competitions and stuff. Yeah, so it was like, it feels like ages ago.
She's not alone. Figure skating coach Stephanie Steele says the teen years are when she sees skaters slow down.
There's just so much pressure on them from all aspects of life, school, etc. So I think just really trying to make sure that they know that we're always here for them, whether or not that means they're skating 5 days a week or cutting it down to accommodate their schedule.
According to Canadian Women in Sport, by age 17, half of girls aren't even playing sports anymore. A reason the national campaign Get Girl Coached was launched.
Girls are being asked to adapt to a sports system that wasn't really designed to serve them. And so they bump up against coaches that don't fully understand them. They run into lack of resources or inequitable resources.
And they're missing out on the benefits.
We want to really rally sport leaders all across Canada to get girl coached, which means really listening to the girls, understanding their experience and their wants and needs, and then taking action.
Work ethic, discipline, self-motivation, and working as a team, even in an individual sport.
I like about hockey that I get to stay active and stay in shape, and I like that I meet a lot of new friends.
Alyssa Ivany started playing hockey at 4 and has no plans to stop.
I want to at least make it to college so I can get a scholarship to hopefully a really good university so I can be a doctor.
As for Ayushi, she plans to return to the track after she graduates university.
That adrenaline rush, like before you have like a big sport or like a big race, just that just makes me feel like really good. So I think, yeah, I would want to go back.
Emma Convey, CTV News.
Entertainment brought to you by the Cinefest Red Carpet Patron Program.
Keanu Reeves has some good fortune, and a new comedy is coming to Netflix. Rick Damigella has those stories and more in tonight's Hollywood Report.
On your left side, come in. Tom Holland takes a break from web slinging. A source tells CNN the actor suffered a mild concussion while shooting Spider-Man Brand New Day. Holland was not hospitalized, but he stepped away from production. The star is expected to resume work on his fourth Spider-Man film in a few days.
Can you keep a secret? I'm an angel. See the wings?
Keanu Reeves guides lost souls. This is a look at the upcoming comedy Good Fortune, which sees Reeves meddling with the lives of two Earthlings, played by Seth Rogen and Aziz Ansari. Good Fortune comes to theaters on October 17th.
Why do you want to be a Marine, Cameron?
For freedom. Boot Camp gets new recruits. Boots is a new series capturing the intense world of the U.S. Marine Corps. See how the rookies fare when the coming-of-age comedy lands on Netflix on October 9th. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Yesterday's stock prices were a headache for the makers of Tylenol, but today some relief. Kenvue, the maker of Tylenol, saw a 7.5% drop in shares yesterday in anticipation of the Trump administration's highly publicized announcement Monday evening that acetaminophen usage during pregnancy causes autism. At the opening of trading this morning, shares bounced back by more than 6%, making up most of what was lost. And here are the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold up $17.07, closing the day at $37.6407 U.S. an ounce. Silver down 4 cents to end the day at $44.03. Silver, or make that copper, slipped a penny, and nickel down a penny, ending the day at $6.83 U.S. a pound. And Rick is back now for one last look at your Wednesday weather.
Tony, I'm surprised you didn't mention how much Blue Jay tickets are going to cost once they make the playoffs, but we'll get to that another night. Chance of showers at 60%. Here we go. Risk of a thunderstorm in Sudbury and Sault Ste. Marie tomorrow. Expected highs around 22. Chance of showers in Timmins at 23 as well. Moving on over to North Bay. Risk of a thunderstorm, 22. More of the same, Parry Sound, 22. And Temiskaming Shores, 22. How about that? All 60% chance of showers. Tony?
Thanks for that, Rick. And finally, in Sudbury today, winners of the Amazing Race Canada, known as Team Broadway, were the keynote speakers at the 27th annual Luncheon of Hope. The event is to raise money and awareness about cancer and to give people and their families hope and inspiration. CTV's Alan Everson has more.
We both decided to press pause.
Team Broadway delivers a message about friendship, perseverance, and passion in the face of adversity at the Luncheon of Hope. Catherine Reeford is a brain cancer survivor, and Craig Ramsey is her best friend.
Craig was the one that made me go to the hospital, and that's when I discovered I had terminal brain cancer. I was given 2 to 6 years to live. It's now 12 years past. I had an awake craniotomy, proton therapy, and 4 different kinds of radiation.
Our friendship is really special, and we hope that everyone has a Catherine or a Craig in their life, because we put ego aside and we're there for each other unconditionally.
Catherine says Craig also helped her have the courage to leave an abusive relationship. Over the past 27 years, the Luncheon has raised over $1.1 million to help support the purchase of specialized breast cancer equipment and fund research. Officials with the HSN Foundation say moving forward, the event will support all areas of cancer care and research.
Clinical trials is a big part of the work that we do and fundraise for at Health Sciences North Foundation. So bringing all cancers together really allows us to focus on the system of care for all cancer patients.
Team Broadway won the Amazing Race Canada in its 8th season and hope their story serves as an inspiration.
My message is you need to do what you need to do, and you need to do what you can do, and when somebody says you can't, you can do it.
I hope that today brought a lot of joy and laughter, yet a lot of power, and teaches people to invest in their friendships and their chosen families.
Organizers say the luncheon is also designed to convey a message of hope. Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
And that's your show on CTV News at 6. I'm Tony Ryma. More news comes your way at 11:30 with Amanda Hicks. Thanks for watching. Good night.